What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course for a plastic conspiracy video where we are actually testing the same disc in two different plastics, in two different new experimental plastics, and we're going to see which one of these is actually the most overstable out of these two runs. This year, Axiom produced for the Champions Cup the Particle Proton Hex. So I currently bag this hex. This is amazing. It is a very stable hex for a hex. I don't know if it's quite reactor level. It does have a little bit of stand up and it will turn and hold a turnover, but it does have some consistent fade at the end. This is Particle Proton in steps for the Tales of Terror. The Jeremy Colling disc was a Particle Eclipse hex. So Particle Proton versus Particle Eclipse. And Eclipse oftentimes from MVP is sought after as being the most overstable of any of their plastics. But Proton gives it a good run for its money. Which one of these particle discs is going to be the most overstable? Let's go ahead and test it out. The one that's been in the bag has been this Proton, Particle Proton. We're gonna go kind of a stand-up hyzer. If we get a little bit of turn, that's also acceptable. There's a little bit of turn on that, may have grip locked it, but just a very, very straight shot. Now I will say this feels softer, this feels gummier, so I don't know if it will hold up to the torque as well, but on a backhand that shouldn't really come into play as much. There's the flip up, there's the fade. Two different release angles. We need to clean that issue up so we can actually see consistent measured flight on the same flight path. But so far, both fly great, and when winter rolls around and glow disc golf is a thing, that hex might be the one that makes the bag, at least for winter. All right, let's pick those up and let's try an actual turnover shot on the next hole. We don't want them to go into the lake, so a turnover is the best shot for this hole. Punch them out there flat, make sure we are crisp on the release so we do get a consistent turn. They're probably still going to fade out of it, but stability wise, if one of them turns harder than the other, it has more flip up. But if they are on the same angle and one starts to fade sooner, it has more fade. There's your difference. All right, we threw Particle Proton first on the last hole, so we'll go Eclipse first here, and I yanked it. Okay, hit a tree. Why can't I throw these two things accurate? Well, I mean, I know the reason. It's because it's Eclipse, and it doesn't work for me unless it's cold out, which is fine because I really only need Eclipse for when it's glow season, but it also grip locks in the summer. Okay, more on its line, more line drive. Got less lucky earlier in its flight. This doesn't tell us anything about its stability, but it may affect its stability. So hopefully they're still gonna fly basically the same way after they both smashed into a tree. And hopefully on the next hole, it'll be the proper release angle on both. Oh, I need to really crisp up on that Eclipse because, Brooke, you know it's going to flip on you. You know it's going to grip lock and stick to your hand. You gotta at least try to release it earlier. This hole, a good bit less distance potential. We're not looking to try to break any distance records. This hole, we are testing out the touch and control that the hex has. Can we get it to flip up and ride straight, or do we get a little bit of turn on our shot to put us closer to the basket? We are alternating. So particle proton first on this T pad. See if we can't actually place our line where it's supposed to be. Just a stand up and a fade. Now for the particle Eclipse. Almost less stand up. Could have been a misrelease, could have been a slight bit more hyzer, but from what I've seen so far at low speeds, the Eclipse, particle Eclipse, seems to have a hair less stand up than the particle Proton. Now, we're going to switch back to a more open, longer distance pushing shot. Does that maintain, and does that continue to be the case? That's what we're testing. As long as we have somewhat consistent releases, we should get to see a pretty decent generalization of which one of these two runs of hex are more overstable, which one has more flip up, which one has more fade. Basket's back in the long position, so it's a bit of a blast for a hex, almost 370 downhill. We were alternating, so it is particle Eclipse turn first. Definitely a stand up, but it never made it all the way to flat. Let's see if this one stands up or not. Honestly, about the same. Maybe a hair more glide from the glow plastic, but basically the same shot, which is really, really, really good thing to know. Because if you're going into glow season and you were already bagging a nice stable hex, this is going to be a nice overstable hex. So you'll have reliability in a brand new disc that you know is stable. So is particle Proton or particle Eclipse more overstable than the other? I think it depends on the mold, and I think it depends on how beaten you make them. I think that starting out, you're going to see a touch more fade, a touch less flip up from the particle Eclipse than the particle Proton. But as time goes on, very quickly the Eclipse will become less stable than the particle Proton, because the particle Proton takes so long to beat in. So for reliability's sakes and for reliability purposes, if you want to have the same hex for a longer period of time, throw a particle Proton. If you want to have a hex that starts out stable that you can beat into your perfect stability, maybe try the particle Eclipse. They're both really good. They both have their uses. And I think I might even get some use out of that particle Eclipse again once glow season comes up. So hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be automatically entered into monthly giveaways, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.